Hello, today we're going to review two-step equations. So when I'm talking about two-step equations, the first thing I'm always going to do is I'm always going to look to see can I add and subtract first, and then I'm going to multiply or divide. So it's kind of like the opposite of, what do I think of? The opposite of PEMDAS, order of operations. So you're going to do it in the opposite order. So normally in PEMDAS, add and subtract would be last. So here you're going to do it first. So if I'm looking at example 1, first I'm going to look to see is there anything I can add or subtract to get x by itself. So I can first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to keep change just because that's what I prefer to do. If you don't need to, you don't have to. But I have 3x plus a negative 2 equals 10, right? Well, I know in order to get rid of a negative 2, I need to use a positive 2. So I'm going to have 3x plus a negative 2 plus 2. Whatever I do to one side, I also do to the other. So I'm going to have 10 plus 2 on this side. All right, so I know that this part right here is going to equal 0. So I'm going to have 3x left on this side equals, I know 10 plus 2 is going to give me 12. Right? So going back up there, do I have anything else to add or subtract? I do not. So I'm going to look back up here. My next thing I'm going to do is multiply or divide. So in order to get x by itself here, I need to divide both sides by 3. So we left with x equals 12 divided by 3 is going to give me 4. Answer. And again, if you want to go back up here and plug this in, so you'd have 3 times 4 minus 2 equals 10. I know 12 minus 2 equals 10. So I know my answer is correct. All right. Next one I have 5 minus x divided by 7 equals negative 3. Well, I know that I could need to add or subtract first. So I know to get rid of this 7, I'm going to have to multiply or divide, so I can't do that first, but I could get rid of this 5. And so it's a positive 5. So I know that I need to subtract 5. So I'm going to have 5 minus x over 7 equals a negative 3. Whatever I do to this side, I also have to do this side over here. So I'm going to have minus 5 over here. These two are going to cancel out to be 0. So we have negative x over 7 left equals, if I keep change, negative 3 and a negative 5. Those are the same signs. So I'm going to add. So I'm going to get a negative 8. Right. Now I can multiply or divide. So I have x divided by 7. It's negative, so I'm going to multiply to get rid of that. I'm going to multiply both sides by a negative 7. This side, all the x left over equals a positive 56. So remember, add or subtract first, then multiply or divide. All right. The last one I have 1/2 x plus 8 equals 12. So the first thing I'm going to do is either add or subtract. So I know I can get rid of this plus 8 first, right here. So I'm going to have 1/2 x plus 8 minus 8 equals 12 minus 8, because whatever I do to one side, I also have to do the other. So I'm going to have left 1/2, oops, that is not a 2. Let's try that again. 1/2 x, this right here, is going to be 0. So equals 12 minus 8, or I can do 12 plus a negative 8. They're different signs, so I'm going to subtract, and 12 minus 8 is going to give me 4. I know it's going to be positive. Now I can multiply or divide, so I need to get rid of this positive half times x. So then I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal, so I'm going to multiply by 2 over 1 times 2 over 1, this over 1. Over here, this is going to equal 1. So I'm going to have x equals 4 times 2 is going to give me 8 over 1, which is just going to equal 8. So x equals 8. Ta-da!